Speaking of, we were joking about Kyle, or Filthy was joking about Kyle, like not working for his money,
Not
or
happening
in this
Anymore,
hypothetical job
right?
thing. Yeah. Did you guys see this kerfuffle? There's a subreddit called anti-work,
Mhm.
Yes, I know
and
that. I've heard of this
a
subreddit, but I haven't seen
yeah,
anything from it. So
a,
what's
a mod from the anti-work subreddit went on Fox News with Jesse Waters, who I don't know how popular he is on Fox News. I've seen his face before. Like he looked familiar when I watched the clip. It's only like a 3-minute clip, but it is so fucking embarrassing and difficult to watch. Like the person they and the whole subreddit of anti-work, apparently I don't really follow it, I just know of it, but apparently beforehand they said, like, they took a big poll and were like, do we want our mods going on an interview in media and Fox News or whatever? And apparently the overwhelming response was like, no, no, don't do that. That's a terrible idea. This is a horrible, horrible idea. Don't do that. And this person went on and did it anyway. And they are, and like, you hear Fox and you think like, oh, are they going to like throw a sneaky bee little question or try and throw them off their game or throw salt into the mix? No, it is the most basic questions. And this person just keeps digging themselves a hole. So they, first of all, they get on the screen. There's
Wait, hold on.
the
Are we watching this or just you describing
no,
it? It's
we
hard.
can't watch it.
Copyright. Can't watch. Okay.
YouTube.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just describing it. You can find it's like a 3-minute clip on YouTube. But the first thing you notice in the 3-minute like side by side is you've got the Fox News host, good looking guy, well dressed, clean background. Obviously, he's a news host. The other person, the mod of anti-work, is not looking at the camera. They're slumping, sitting over to the side. Their bed isn't made behind them. It is messy. The lighting isn't right, and it's just embarrassing to watch. And so you see this guy Jesse asking questions, and Jesse Waters, the host, being like, "So anti-work, like, first of all, just how old are you?" And the person was like 30. It's a trans 30-year-old, and they're like, "Okay, and what do you do for work?" And he said she was like, I'm a dog walker, 30-year-old dog walker. And and Jesse Waters is sitting there like, oh. And how many hours a week do you work? And she was like, 20 to 25 hours a week. And he's like, and you think that's too much? You think that's just far too much? And she was like, not really answering that. But instead of, and I understand the frustration of people like who see the need for having conversations about workers' rights, because that is very important. But what they got was someone who literally said, this is a quote that this person said, laziness is a virtue. Laziness is a virtue if you're not engaging in like the capitalist overstructure that is trying to force you to work. And it was cataclysmic how bad it went for him. I'm trying to see. I wrote something else down about what the fuck. Oh yeah, like he then asked her like, okay, so you work 20 hours a week dog walking. Do you have any aspirations outside of that? And she was like, I want to teach philosophy. And it was like, dude, this could not have gone worse and looked worse. It is so uncomfortable. It makes the whole movement of those people look like they genuinely, it made them look like, despite any arguments they have that are totally reasonable about workers' rights, it makes them look like a bunch of children who are like, I don't want to work. And so I went there to, I don't really go to that forum, but I went and looked around, and like everyone, like 100% of comments that weren't removed by these mods were like, this is absurd to send a single 30-year-old dog walker who works 20 hours a week. By the way, someone
aspiring philosophy professor.
Aspiring philosophy professor.
Like he has no
By the
dreams.
way, this person also had comments in their like history that they were posting on the Reddit that was like, I mean, I do work. I work 2 hours every day, 5 days a week. That's 10 hours a week dog walking. That's not 20 or 25. And it's like, oh my God. But like every single person is like, this is a disaster. They have humiliated the whole movement. Like do you think it would have been better if they got a single parent who's working 2 jobs and is in insurmountable debt, and inflation is causing problems. They can't afford a home. They're hemorrhaging money. Somehow they could afford a lower amount on a mortgage, but they can't afford, or they can't afford a
Someone
lower
whose
amount on a mortgage.
boss
They can't afford a
routinely
higher
calls
amount on
them in
rent.
off schedule to fill in for other people with no
Mhm.
compensation. Someone who's,
Yeah.
who is scheduled to work, say 9 to 5, but they routinely ask her to stay till 8, which brings daycare troubles. Like, this is
Maybe
what
lives in an
anti-work.
area of
Yeah.
the country where it's really expensive to buy a home, can't afford a home while they're doing this. They're just trying to
Yeah.
make ends meet, trying to get a better future for their kids, and they just can't. Yeah,
Yeah,
no.
Right.
wages have stagnated for 30 years. Meanwhile, home prices are skyrocketing.
Do
There
you
are
know what they're
so
paying
many
dog
angles.
walkers?
There's so many angles you could take on this that it's like, that's a good point. That is a good point. But instead, and like the response from the forum is exactly how you think Reddit would handle it. All of these anarchists, so-called, or a lot of the mods are so-called anarchists. They immediately just come down like fascists, like, no, you can't say that. You can't say that. They had another one of their mods post like a little update to everything. This mod described themselves as a long unemployed 21-year-old. That just means you've never worked.
Yeah, right.
Like that just means you haven't had a job yet. And so like, and now they're like,
That means you're
the
particularly
mods decided to
generous
put
and
this person in
caring parent.
it is just wild to see like the mods of a forum, which is like, all you're doing, you're just fucking mods. You're not leaders of any movement. You just make sure that people don't say shit that's against terms of service. For them to foist themselves and be like, we'll do interviews on mainstream media, to not be smart enough to realize that accepting a mainstream media interview from Fox as an untrained mod on a Reddit forum, they're gonna clown you. I know, oh, Fox News, they're so stupid. No, they're professional news anchors. You think any of us could go up there with Anderson Cooper or fucking the right wing guy Tucker? You think we would get trounced by them because they know the medium, they know the format. They're not doing free speaking stuff. They know the right way to phrase
They
things.
might have helped too. Like, there could be a
Mhm.
team in that earpiece that they're listening to.
Yeah,
That's true too. Something tells me there was the only sounds he was getting in this interview in that earpiece
laughter.
was just howling laughter. Yeah, because I guarantee he had some like gotcha questions. They didn't even get to it. The big gotchas were, how old are you and what is your
Yeah.
occupation?
Yeah, the whole team's really enjoying this. You take this from here. You got it. You got it. We're just gonna watch. We're just gonna watch.
Just like-
Ask her about the dogs. Hey, ask her how many dogs she walks in a week, and then do the math.
Yeah. These are some pretty long
All right,
dog walks.
How many? Yeah, right. 25 hours a week, right? Wasn't that what it was?
That was the
Roughly?
lie. The reality was 10.
All right.
Mhm.
All right. Let's say it was 25. Let's say you're walking each dog for an hour. So that could be 25 dogs if you were dumb enough to do each dog one at a time. That's like a premium service, right? We've seen dog walkers before, right? They
Mhm.
look like a kid holding as many balloons as he can hold. There's
I
bunches
wonder
of
if they
them.
charge by the pound, because I could walk 10 unruly Chihuahuas, but
There's
only
classes.
one unruly Great Dane.
Yeah, they charge more for different classes of dogs. I think you got like an XL dog.
I
That's
didn't
a
realize how
Mondo
absurd
Duke.
dog walking is as a thing. You
Yeah.
get a dog and you're like, I'm gonna take this animal. I'm gonna take this animal home and I'm gonna take care of it. But I'm not gonna do even the basic minimum of giving it a walk. I'm gonna pawn that out I'm gonna farm that out to someone else to do this for me because I want the dog, but I don't want to do even a walk. That's insane.
In my opinion, the dog walk hirer is out working, right? So the dog walker is letting the dog go to getting a bathroom break during the day, right? I think that's the scoop.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think normally so. I doubt it's like you're relaxing on the couch and like, have the help do it.
I don't know,
Yeah,
man.
I mean, some people I'm sure are, right? Like, but probably not most. It's probably like a daycare for dogs kind of thing, which is the cutest thing ever, right? Like when my friends like send their dogs to daycare, they take a picture of the dog like during the day, and they give them a little report card, and they're like Roscoe didn't really enjoy Josephine, but he's best friends for life with Roger.
My wife
there's
is
a picture
attempting
of
to
like
talk me
him.
into a dog right now.
There's like a picture of him and Roger, and Roger's like a basset hound, and Roger's like, "Oh, we're friends now," and it's like, "Oh shit."
Those are so funny. And then you realize it's just some like drunk employee is sitting in the back 15 minutes before you arrive. Fucking Scooter loves to dance. What else? Alex is a Republican. Just making shit up.
Your dog had a MAGA hat on.
Dylan is suspended from daycare for racist behavior. And he pooped on the ground.
He stays away from all the blonde dogs.
He assaulted a chocolate lab. It's a hate crime.